Welcome back. This is Buck, the movie buff, and I'm here to talk about the Rom-Com Bros, directed by Nicholas Stoller, produced by Billy Eichner, who also starred in it as Bobby Lieber, podcaster, vlogger in the movie, more about romantic relationships, gay relationships. And it was just a delight to see with my family. We all found ourselves laughing, recognizing family members and friends and uncles and aunts that were represented in the movie from our own lives, from people we know across the United States, from coast to coast, all the way from San Francisco to New York. And, as I not really having paid attention to who directed it, because it was a movie that my kids had wanted to see and my wife, and I'm not always into the rom-coms as much. But no doubt I'll go out on a date with my wife to see a good rom-com that she's chosen. This one in particular caught our attention just because my kids really identified with Bobby Lieber, as I said, who was the part acted by Billy Eichner, and he's the spitting image of my younger brother. So the kids just couldn't get over that and just loved hearing him talks, the way he looked, the kind of character that he portrayed. It was really close to that. And so we identified, all of us as a family. It was interesting because some of my gay friends weren't really satisfied with the movie. So we were kind of going into it not knowing what to think, but ended up loving it altogether. And probably halfway to 2/3 through it, I realized this is the type of rom-com that my wife loves to watch. And upon finishing it and looking at who had directed it, since it was her choice to put on our DVD queue, and yes, we still get a couple of DVDs weekly in the mail, wonderfully, that they contain the special features. One of my favorite parts of watching a DVD, for that very reason. I noticed Nicholas Stoller and looked him up and then said, oh my gosh, forgetting Sarah, Neighbors, what else? Neighbors 2, get him to the Greek. My wife loves all those movies with Russell Brand and Seth Rogen and just these kind of silly rom-coms. And so she couldn't contain herself, and I found myself laughing a lot too. It's very stereotypical and generalized, and I think that's the point here. Like those movies, if you've seen any of Nicholas Stoller's other rom-coms, they're not necessarily trying to do some kind of character development, this massive dramatic portrayal of a specific couple or individual in a movie, but rather share with us, in a comical way, what that particular person's story is and lifestyle, and nailed it right here with Bros. I think everything in the movie I almost experienced in the 7 years plus that I lived in San Francisco between 1999 and 2006. So much of it was ringing true to me. And yes, in that rom-com, exaggerated, over-the-top way that Nicholas Stoller does his movies. Let's see. In talking to a friend, I realized if you're looking for something that's more poignant and a serious love story, and while this is not a movie, the one I'm going to say the best I've seen all year, it is an episode from an amazing series on HBO Max, and that's Last of Us Episode 2, Bill and Frank. Oh my, I was choked up and tearing by the end of Episode 2 and watching that also with my family, Last of Us, the video game created by Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin. I had the wonderful opportunity to watch my brother-in-law play this while down in Peru, and he prefers to play the games narrated in Spanish, go figure, being from Peru, but also got to see my son play it in English. And now, since there isn't a Last of Us season 2, and we're gonna have to wait for that, I'm sure it's gonna get the green light and go forward, because it's an amazing series, the best zombie series I've seen, the most poignant, the best story, so well written, so well produced and directed. We've begun to play Last of Us 2 as a family, and while my wife and I don't have the chops and the skills to pay the bills in terms of playing a PlayStation game, we do try to alert our kids as they share the remote, pass it back and forth. If a zombie is coming from behind them, or a particular route they might take to get somewhere, and help them read maps and give all of our advice. So we as a team, we play this game now, just wanting to know more where the story heads. And so far, wow, it's a fun sequel to the original game. Haven't got to the end. I think we might be halfway through the game at this point. In our sessions a couple times a week, or sometimes once a week, playing together. But I would say Bros is that type of rom-com that you go to see because, you want to see the parody of things. You want to see that exaggerated, stereotypical version of someone's lifestyle and relationship. For me personally, with what I've viewed this year, nothing tops romantically in a male relationship. Last of Us episode 2. No spoilers. You need to see it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of Last of Us, get the game, or just get a subscription trial to HBO Max and binge. You won't regret it. So look forward to seeing you in the next episode, and please like and subscribe to the video.